Hello, welcome, hello, welcome, welcome. Uh, so this is kind of an impromptu video, um, just clearing the air here, making it very evident and very well known. I am not a fan of Chicago Electric. Um, Never have been. However, it has been brought to my attention that perhaps I should give this a go. So I'm going to, and we're going to see what happens with it. And I'm just going to check my audio here real quick on my tablet as soon as this ad stops playing. Stop anytime now, ad. Make sure we're good. Make sure we're good. All right, sounds like we're good. Got good audio. All right, so like it says in the description, we're doing unboxing and we're going to do a little demonstration. All right, so I got some cottonwood bark that I'm carving for Carving Fusion World of Wood Carvers, Green Man and a Friend. This is not done. It's just it's in process. Set that aside. I do have some tougher wood to go through here. I don't know what kind of wood this is, but I know it was harder than hell. So maybe I'll carve around on this a little bit. Maybe. I got a block of sassafras. Maybe work on a little wood spirit or something on that. Then I got some nice, really soft cedar here. Cedar's really good, really soft, but it's a big piece. So just to clear the air, this is a 5/32 chuck. It is not a 1/4 inch chuck. A lot of people think that this will take a 1/4 inch. And if I'm wrong, cool, I'm wrong. I do have some 1/4 inch cut saw burrs here. I'll try all those little guys out on it. We'll see how that goes. Otherwise, we're going to stick with the 1/8 inch burrs. All of these guys, I got a whole bunch of cuts all 1/8 inch burrs. So we're going to mess around. We're going to see. We're going to put this thing to the test. I am not typically a heavy-handed carver, relatively lightweight carver, but we'll see. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm going to get the live chat in there. It looks like I got 2 viewers, but not getting any comments, which is okay. But if you're here, say hi. Let me know. There he is. There's Jordy. Jordy the man. So Jordy actually made a post in Carving Fusion about this and talking about how it was $30. And he's right. It is $30 right now. It is on clearance. They are closing out of these at Harbor Freight. You won't be able to get these soon. They're getting rid of their entire Chicago Power Tools brand. So if you want to get a good, let me rephrase that. If you want to get a budget carver, if you want to get a budget carver, this is really cheap right now. Normally these are like $45, which is still about half the price of the knockoff Fordhams on Amazon. So we'll see, but we're going to unbox this. We'll get into this. Like I said, test it out, try it out, see how it works, see how it goes, and we'll run it. Here we go. Get your. Oh yeah, by the way, the box was as good a shape as I expect the tool to be. Couple tools, a little mount here. Looks like it's kind of like a swivel mount. You can mount it, swing it around. Oh look, they even give you extra brushes. Yeah, they give you your little chuck, and they give you some extra brushes and a couple screws to mount your stuff. I don't know that I'm going to mount it that way. I've got my Dremel hanging up here. I might just take my Dremel down and hang it in place of the Dremel and work solely with this thing. So I know for a fact I'm going to need the chuck. That's a definite. Take the receipt from this. Put those behind me. I'm not going to use those. I don't have a freaking clue what that is. So I tested this in Harbor Freight because I wanted to make sure it worked before I brought it home. That's how little faith I have in them. I have that much faith in them. I'm going to try to zoom in, Jordy. It was not allowing me to zoom earlier. See if I can do it from the camera because it was not allowing me to zoom in earlier for some reason. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to let me zoom here, Jordy. I'm getting a very delayed look here. Yeah, not really going to let me zoom for whatever reason. I don't know why it's not going to zoom. What's up, Rumple? How you doing, buddy? So this remote is pretty much junk right now. Anyways, yeah, I was at Harbor Freight and I decided I'm going to pull this out. All right, I'll show the parts closer to the cam. This is the little chuck that I was talking about. All right, so you get a little T-handle chuck. And inside the bag, this is that little swivel mount thing that I was talking about. You'd mount it this way, and the hook swings that way. All right, so they give you that. They give you a couple of screws to mount it, and some extra brushes. Kind of can't see it, it's pretty blurry, and it sucks. Just trust me, they're in there. It's blurry because it's in the bag, and I don't want to take them out of the bag. Jordy's a proponent of this. He likes this thing. He feels like it's a good unit, and he might be right. He's a far more experienced carver than I am. He's played around with a hell of a lot more rotary tools than I have, so he very well could be right. It is my experience with Harbor Freight and Chicago Electric tools that they are just not worth a damn. But I'm gonna try to stay open-minded about it. Just took my Dremel out of the way because, like I said, I'm just gonna hang this up where the Dremel goes. Anyways, as I said, I took this stupid thing. Yes, this is the $30 model. I think I accidentally took this from Harbor Freight when I was testing this. I think it got tangled up on the cords because I believe this is a business card holder. Sits like that, and you drop your business cards on it. So I think I got an accidental bonus business card holder. Sorry, Harbor Freight, did not mean to do that. All right, so you get a foot pedal, foot switch. I did test this, and it does do a variable speed, so that's good. Let's see about how long this takes to set up. Shouldn't be very long at all. Hopefully the power cord is really, really long. Maybe that'll work. You see, I got a little thing here to bring the power cord up through. Plug my foot pedal into it. Like that. Yeah, okay. Plenty of room for that. I just hope this is long enough, because I don't think it's going to be. Not to make it all the way to the power cord, at least. Might have to run a little extension cord. So that'll be one drawback, is that you got to mount this thing so freaking high up in the air. And one thing I'll say about this that I didn't like, there is no power switch on this, none whatsoever. It's non-existent, no power switch. The shaft was loose in the box, it wasn't tightened down all the way. But yeah, no power switch on this whatsoever. Tells you to please read the instructions, all that good stuff. But yeah, again, like I said, no power switch. So if you're expecting a power switch, you have expected wrong. All right, length of the handpiece, that's okay for where I have the mount, so that's good. I like that. Sits right on the top of the desk, and yeah, there's no damn way that is going to make it all the way down to the foot pedal. Not one damn way. All right, so we got our handpiece. I can work right here and do what I got to do. It doesn't look like it's bothering the camera, so that's good. Put this up here by the trash. So I guess first thing, let's see, does this actually take a 1/4 inch burr? It does say on the thing, on the package, 530 seconds, which is typically not big enough. I can tell you right now by looking at it, that is correct. It is not going to take this 1/4 inch burr. I'm near positive of that. I'm going to take this out all the way. Yeah, no way in hell. It's not going to take that. No way in hell. It's just not gonna reach it. Not gonna do it. Definitely doesn't have it in it. So it should. The new Fordham handpiece. I talked to Jordy earlier. It is the 44T handpiece by Fordham. It's about $70 on Amazon, and it's actually more expensive on Fordham's site, which is bewilderingly weird to me that it would be more expensive on the manufacturer's site. But I digress. Who am I to argue? Put my 1/4-inch burrs back here, and we'll stick with some Old Faithful and trusty. We'll just do with the. We'll start out with the cuts all flame burr. That's what I would use in my Dremel, right? It's just a regular cuts all flame burr. This one's been used and abused a bit. That's what we'll start out with. Throw that in here. And again, I'm going to have to get a little extension cord to run this down the right way. Well, so the good thing is that I like about the handpiece right now, this seems pretty solid with that little chuck. It grips it pretty good. And you want your burr sticking out just a tiny bit past the collet. And that was bottomed out all the way. So it's naturally, it's gives you a pretty good starting point. Let's see. Reading some comments here. Good mount, looks good for the price. Okay, great. That's good. Looks like a good handpiece. Handpiece does feel good. Can you unlock the handpiece and show both key drive and handpiece? Yep, good call. Okay, so let's unlock the handpiece. If it's anything like the Fordham, push on this little ball, I think. I think that's what you do. You push on the ball. Maybe I got to use the... Jesus Christ. I don't think pushing on the ball is a trick. All right. So it is a quick connect. Turning that, I rotated that piece to push on the ball that's down inside of there. So that's all I did. I turned that, rotated it. Just pull apart with force. Well, that's kind of what I did. Just rotate that back. So there's the ball, and I think that's what that little sleeve is for. That sleeve kind of locks it down like that. But Jordy's probably right. He's dealt with more of these. Oh, look at this. Handpiece can come apart. It's a really thin aluminum. I could crush that if I wanted to. Like I could literally one hand, I could probably flatten that out. So that's really thin aluminum. Screw it on, make sure that stays on tight. I don't want that sucker coming off at any point in time. Key on the shaft. I don't know if that's a, Jordy, you would know. It looks like the same on the Fordham maybe. There is a key here. It's just a little tiny keyway. Trying to get it to rotate, so. It's a very, very tiny little keyway. It's not focusing very good. Trying to get it to focus okay. Take my towel off the camera so I can see the video. Yeah, I think that's about as good as I'm going to get it there. You can kind of see a little keyway in there. So I keep a towel over the camera so I don't get it all dusty. All right. Look down inside and I can see it down there. All right, so even when I spun it, I could hear it just kind of click in. And I can hear the motor up there spinning. So that's good. Okay. I think I can maybe loop this through here. Get that out of the way. Oh, I did have another little guy over here. How about that? I'm going to cross that over. Good. Still isn't going to be long enough to make it all the way to the floor, I don't think. If it does, freaking cool. Awesome. Good stuff. But yeah, definitely not happening. That is definitely not going to happen. So let me grab a small extension cord. All right, so far that's the major faults. Really thin aluminum, and the damn power cord's not long enough to make it to the floor for proper height of where your piece is. It's about, I don't know, maybe 12 to 14 inches too short, and I'm going to use a much longer extension cord. Plug that in. When I plugged it in at the store, one other thing that I really like is noise. It is really quiet. That's full power, so it is really quiet. And I'm going to let this run for a few seconds, let the grease get going. Yeah, it's really quiet. I can talk, obviously, while I'm doing this. I got a little scrap piece of cedar. Maybe I'll tinker with that piece. I was messing around with this piece before. I'm going to run it, see how hot it gets. And my biggest thing is going to be how much the power stays going. I had bought other tools that are Chicago electric brands, and as soon as you put any torque on them, they don't like it. They bog down. So that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to be interested in finding out. How that sounds, how does that work? They're quiet though. See if I can't get some angle out of that. There's too much angle. It's bothering me that it's not straight across. Has to be about close enough. I didn't like that it was on an angle, because I'm definitely a little OCD, I suppose. So it is getting a little bit warm right here. Not bad though. Could easily keep my hand here for a while. It's not super warm. Warm, but not super warm. So that's good. I probably will spend the $70 and get a new handpiece, as long as this thing stands the test of time, right? If I can run this and not blow it up today, maybe I'll spend the $70 on the Fordham handpiece so that I can do the 1/4 inch tools with. Maybe. We'll see. Yep, still feeling pretty good. It's a little chattery in the line. If I straighten the line out, you can kind of hear it maybe. Hold it up high. I got it extended up all the way above the camera, so it's running on a loop. You kind of see it here maybe. And I got the handpiece up all the way by the motor, or same height, not next to it, but same height. All right. I think that's okay. So at least it's running with no torque. I got no complaints on that. This is what a box looks like when it's in better condition. So you can get them with a better condition box that's not all beat to shit and torn up like this one, brand new from the store. It was a little floppy, little cut. It was taped back together. I mean, the box was in really pathetic, rough shape. That's why I opened this one at the store and said, yeah, you guys are going to let me test this one out here in the store. I'm not driving back here with this thing. That ain't happening. So yeah, I bought two of them. And I bought two of them because one of these, this one particularly, this one has Jordy's name on it. No, literally. It has Jordy's name on it. So this one will be making its way out to Canada because Jordy really, really loves these things. As you can tell in the comments, he really loves these things. This is his favorite carver of all time. He'll take 3 of these over a Fordham any day of the week. He hates Fordham compared to these. So that'll be making its way out to Canada to see Mr. Heavy Hands himself. That's where we're at with that. So I'm gonna throw my mask on and play around. I'm gonna start with softer woods. Take it easy. Just carve a little bit on the softer wood. Mask on, safety glasses on, turn on my overhead filter. Yep, exactly what Jordy said, that lifting it up runs the grease down into the lower part of the shaft here. Keeps it out of the handpiece. All right, let's start out with this little thing. I carved a mushroom out of the other one, and I don't even know where that's at. Did that with my daughter. This does not run as high a speed as it does on a Dremel. The Dremels do not run as high a speed, or run at a lot higher speed than what these do. But let's put some pressure on it and see what it does. Somebody opened up my garage and then bailed out and didn't stay. Nope, it's just my wife coming in. My camera's right here, wife. My camera is not going to see you. My wife is camera shy, even though she's absolutely stunning. Put it in the freezer, please. Thank you. My wife is absolutely stunning and she's camera shy. I tell you what, I get a hell of a lot more views if she was on my channel more often. Yeah, I know you've said that before, Jordy. Wipe off the inner clutch shaft. I don't know. That's just a little silly block. The handpiece is really bulky, so I don't know how great it's going to go, but I guess we'll see. Let's put some pressure on it. Alright, so it ate through the cedar pretty easy. That's not saying very much though. That's just cedar. Uh, that stuff, that stuff was hard. So I don't know how that's gonna go, but that stuff was super freaking hard. See how that goes. Alright, so it ate through that okay. Not great, but you know what? The Dremel didn't eat through it much better. I think it ate through it a little bit faster. Kind of expected if you got higher RPMs, it should eat through it a little faster. Sweep off my area here. Part of my area is me right now. So I don't know. Let's talk about the handpiece. Not really heating up too much. A little bit. It might have been from my hand temperature. Take my mask off while I talk. You guys can hear me a little better. We're going to try and do some debarking and maybe work a quick wood spirit into some hard sassafras. Fran Palm sent me this piece. I've had it sitting here to carve something, and I don't know, maybe we'll just carve a little face into it. Use this to debark. One thing I will say is I'm not really a big fan of the handpiece. It's bulky. It's not super easy to maneuver. And then trying to get into something, the edge of your handpiece, the edge here, ends up kind of getting in the way. So you can't really dive in. Can't really get the angles on things that you want. So I would say don't expect to do detail work too much with this handpiece. Personal opinion. I will stick with the Dremel flex shaft handpiece, which is noticeably smaller and more comfortable. They look to be actually really close to the same size, but the difference comes in when you hold the Dremel handpiece, you get a little more pencil tip to it. So you can get it a little bit more comfortable. Overall diameter at the fattest parts, I put it right here. I think this is where it makes a difference because this is where the tool would go in. Here to here, they're pretty close to the same diameter. Yep, right there it's pretty close to the same diameter. I would say not more than maybe 1/8 of an inch off. But here being so much thinner and the bit getting so much further, I think you're going to do a far better job getting your detail done with the Dremel handpiece over this. I don't know if the Fordham 44T piece is better for getting into those tight detail areas or not, but that's something that I noticed right out of the gate. The drill bit head, the chuck head, that's holding up good. I won't knock that. Yep, nice and gouges for detail work. I have some of those, and that is a patient man's job. That is not a Jordy and Chris job. That is a patient man's job because knives and gouges take forever. uh, yeah, like I said, I wouldn't do any detail work with it. I'm trying to keep an open mind on this whole thing, and this is gripping really, really good. No complaints on how that's gripping. I said it when I screwed it down. It felt like it was pretty solid. So I do like that. I can honestly say that I like that. But I think for doing stuff like this, I'm going to hold the handpiece like this and just kind of run it that way. I think it's going to be more comfortable, and since it doesn't have to be super detailed, I think that's where I'm going to go with that. So back to the mask. Back to the old safety glasses. And let's see how it strips some bark. And I'll start by, I'll draw in the forehead area, I think, that I want. I'm just going to leave this all here. I'm just going to rough in the face, and then I'll strip the boat. Getting a lot of chowder. That happens when you hit the grain of the wood wrong. There we go! There we go, Jordy! There we go. That's the Harbor Freight freaking Chicago Electric that we all come to know and love. That son of a bitch backed right off of there. I think it's heated on. I think it's a pressed down fitting. There's no chuck or anything in there. The tip is pretty hot. Yeah, buddy. All right, so the motor's still okay. The motor's still okay, but this just fucking falls right off. That was not even a question. It popped right off. I don't know, we'll call that, graciously, we'll call that 10 inches around. And that's what happened. 10 inches around, and boop. This is the quality that I've come to expect from Chicago Electric. Now, I will say, if I buy the Fordham handpiece, maybe the motor's still good. Maybe. So what I'm going to try to do is take my burr out. I'm going to take and back that down all the way. I'm going to use the old rubber mallet. A couple taps. And it might still be usable. I don't know. I think it'll still be usable. So we'll give it another go after a quick repair job there. Jordy still likes the price. So on Jordy's post that he made in the carving group, I had said that the $30 price tag is great. The warranty is good, which is great because you're going to need to use the warranty, as I just demonstrated. Right, you're going to need to use it. So it seems like a couple good taps. I got it back in there. Seems okay for the moment. We'll tinker and we'll toy and we'll try. Yeah, okay. I can agree with that. Maybe the handpiece is the staple in this, Jordy. Maybe the handpiece is the shit part. The motor still sounds good, so take that for what it is. Couple good smacks with the old rubber mallet. Oh yeah, Jordy, it broke. I mean, it popped right off. But like I said, that's handpiece specific. While the handpiece is still Chicago Electric, it's not the motor, right? The part that you care about. You can buy different handpieces. So I did what I did. I just repaired it. I took my burr out and I backed the teeth of the chuck down all the way inside, and then I just smacked it a couple times with the lightweight dead blow mallet, and it seems to be seated on there again. So I'll continue on, and we'll see if it pops off on me again. Let's give her a go. It chatters like a son of a bitch. Jordy says he'd still buy 5. Maybe it's a handpiece, maybe it's me. I won't blame the tool. I'll take responsibility for it. I don't like how when I'm holding it like every which direction. I don't like that at all, to be honest with you. I got a lot less chatter holding it this way. I'm taking it off, so I'll use it to both remove. I should probably put my safety glasses back on. Alright, handpiece is getting warmer. Still not super hot, but warmer. Yeah, we can do that, Jordy. Just getting ready to say on this piece of sassafras, it smells awesome. It's kind of got a citrusy smell, I guess, maybe. I don't know if that's correct scent, whatever, but it does smell awesome to carve. But it seems like it only smells that way going through the bark. Not as good as cedar. I do expect I'm going to struggle a little bit right here with it. That knot is going to be that's going to be kind of rough going through it. All right, so you want to see unscrew the flex shaft from the motor and show both the motor and the flex shaft where it hooks up loose. Okay. Just be safe about it, so don't bump anything, unplug it. Put this one down. All right. So, in order to take it all the way off, there's a set screw right there, a little Allen head set screw you'd have to use to take it off. Shaft is rounded, the spring on it. I just so happen to have some small Allen heads nearby. So that piece is completely round. No flats to it, just round. And then on the motor, there is a flat spot. And then it's just round the rest of the way, trying to get you guys a okay angle on it where you can see it. I guess that's kind of the best we're going to get. Well, that's good. Just go ahead and drop your Allen wrench. That's the way to do things. Drop your tools everywhere. It helps you a lot if you drop your tools. Tool dropping is an important, critical part of every job. If you don't drop your tools, you're probably not doing it right. Let's see how hard this is to get it back in here now. It's giving some resistance going back in. Getting the thread started on it. All right, got the thread started. Let's see. All right, I feel like maybe it's not bound up, so that's good. We'll have to see. We shall see. Plug her back in, turn her back on. I don't like the way that sounds. A little louder now. Yeah, I don't like the way that sounds. I don't know if I put it back on too high, too low. Too late, Jordy. Took it off long before that comment. Didn't look like it was all the way up when I pulled it out. Oh, that didn't sound fucking right. Do not put it all the way up. I'll tell you that much right now. So, the second time, I had put the brass all the way up against this nut here, and that was apparently some no-no sauce. It didn't sound good at all. Try it again now. There we go, it's back to being quiet. Alright, I can deal with that. So, definitely leave it about, if you have to take that part off, I'd say leave it a full eighth, if not even a quarter inch away. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know for sure. If you don't tighten those up enough, then you mess them up and things back off. Let's see. You shouldn't have to use Loctite on that. Those set screws are designed to just put a little bit of pressure against the shaft so that it doesn't move. Loctite isn't always the best thing for that kind of thing. But let's continue to strip and rip some bark here. All right, that should be about all the bark cleaned off of it. Check some comments here. Let's see. Well, I'm trying to be heavy-handed, and I'm not normally a heavy-handed carver. I'm digging in pretty good because I'll be honest with you, until it's gone. As I said in the beginning of this video, I am not a fan of Central Pneumatic or Chicago Electric, not Central Pneumatic. Central Pneumatic is pretty much the same damn thing. It's a Harvard Freight brand though. We got pretty much all the bark stripped off there. Cool, good, whatever. Draw a little line, face, whatever. Put a little wood spirit in there. I've never worked with sassafras so much. Getting through the bark was pretty easy. This wood seems to be quite a bit more dense and hard. So I don't know that it's going to do much justice. We'll see how much justice it'll do. May end up switching off of the flame burr. I don't know. Might still stick with it. It's just kind of hard to get a good, any type of good detail in anywhere. It's kind of different. But I am interested, and I want to see, I know it's Not really a sanding mandrel job, but I do want to see how this cleans up. I don't know if that's going to fit in there very well, but we'll see. I'm going to sand it up. I want to see what that wood's going to look like. Standing up to heavy hands, well, I guess we'll find out because, as I said earlier, you weren't here for it until it's gone. You were not here for it, but there's a second one. Oh, got a nice bald spot. Put Jordy's name on it, so this one's heading its way to Canada. And then Jordy can tear it up as he pleases. A little nervous about this. I don't have quite so much sandpaper out on that yet. I'm a little nervous. It's sticking out a little bit more. What I'd like to, it should be shouldered all the way down. See it maybe there, cut it. I don't like that gap right there. That should be, the shoulder should be all the way down. I'm just going to sand this a little bit. I want to see what the wood looks like on the inside. Can't really see that with all that green right now, or with all the carving and roughness. So let's see. I'll tell you this much. Sassafras is pretty freaking hard. It just destroyed that sandpaper. Yep, that sassafras just wiped that sandpaper out. So sassafras is pretty hard. And I was running it pretty fast too, but we'll take that out of there. And switch up the bit a bit. a bit, get it? Yeah. While I'm at it, might as well just go ahead and switch this out. I didn't even get through the sapwood. The figuring on that tells me that I did not get through the sapwood. I always forget about this. I always try and struggle with this, and then I realize you can just unscrew the damn sandpaper way faster and easier than trying to fight with it. Cool. Yeah, way easier that way. Looks like I had a couple pieces here preloaded and ready to go. Should have one more. Doesn't appear as though I do, but I've got a bunch of it right there. What grit is that? I don't know. I don't know what grit that is. I want it all the same grit. I'm going to go a bunch of 150s. One thing that I do that some others may not, I go through the bottom side of this first before I go through the sandy side of it. I just feel like it goes on a bit easier that way. Try not to stab myself too much. Working its way in. This sandpaper loading technique, it's nothing patented or copyrighted, so feel free to go ahead and use it. One thing I will say is I do follow the majority method of having the sandpaper grit on both sides. That I do. That has proven to work really, really well for me, so I'll continue to do that. Let's see here. Not going to use the sanding manual again right now, but let's knock the microphone off myself because I'm dusty as dusty can be. And the face is telling me that my nose is itching. Okay. Got my handy dandy marker. Let's figure it out here. Over here. I'm not sure we'll go right on here for eyebrows. Jeez, what kind of marker is this? It's supposed to be a top of the line quality marker, and it doesn't write for crap. Oh, that sucker. The Sharpie might be better now, I don't know. I don't want to see my center line. Yeah, I'll think we'll start off with the old-fashioned nose. You know who's really good at doing these wood spirits like this? Another YouTuber, Jordy Johnson. That is fucking amazing. You know, he makes it look easy. And you get some schlub like me who, you know, can barely freaking do anything. Gave him a little mascara to make him a little bit deeper. Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Charcoal pencils. Not a bad thing. Not a bad tip, sir. Speaking of tip, let's change up and go to a different burr. We'll have to go ahead and we'll get a little crazy. Pull off this taper burr. That's all taper burr. See how this thing works with a taper burr in it. Taper burr should give me a little more reach. All right, give me a little more reach to carve down in here, get his nose, dip his eyes, work his forehead. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, the beauty of Harbor Freight is definitely the return policy. They only give you 90 days on these, though. That's it. There's 90 days on those now. And as I stated earlier in the video, if you didn't catch it, Chicago Electric is going bye-bye. It took Harbor Freight 25 years or so to realize that Chicago Electric is absolute junk. Although this is holding up better than what I expected. I'm still speaking with bias at this point. In my opinion, my not so humble opinion, Harbor Freight is just junk. But I gotta admit, it's holding up okay so far. No complaints other than the chuck popping off mid carve. Well, let's see how it goes. I don't like the chatter. All that chatter can ruin a party real quick. I don't like all that chatter. That can ruin a line and a carving real quick. It kind of did here. It's salvageable, but yeah, it chatters like mad. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm gonna go to try to cut this, and it's gonna freaking chatter and bounce and pop and rock and roll. I don't like that. Yeah. don't even think it's actual wood, to be honest with you. I think it's the speed of the tool isn't super fast, so it's making it jump and pop and move all around. Try a nice soft piece of cedar with the same burr on it, because I don't think it's the wood so much. Maybe it is, I don't know. I don't freaking know. All right, let's see. I don't know if you guys could hear it on the camera or not when I was hogging down on it. I don't know if you guys could hear it in the camera or not. I was hogging down on it. It definitely was bogging down, losing some power, making those deep cuts and cutting through it. This was just a piece of cedar, so I would not expect it to bog down like that. We all know cedar is super soft and easy to carve. And it is a cuts all taper burr, to answer your question, Rufus. Cuts all taper. Relatively new. Yeah, Fordham is definitely still expensive. No doubt about it. I think the Fordham handpiece is going to make a big difference on it when I decide to pop for another $70. It's still, it jumps around too damn much, right? I had a real hard time getting a good line in this. I just didn't want to stay straight. Dremel moves it a lot easier, I think, in my opinion. Moves it way easier. I don't know if I want to go too much further on this. Right now I can, as we say, carve deeper and remove some of that face, set it back in a little bit more. Maybe do an owl or something. I left a really big area to do an owl. I haven't done any owls. My wife started an owl in cottonwood bark. She hasn't finished it, but I don't know. That's kind of not great. I don't like the lacking straight lines. I don't think I'm going to chase that one down anymore. What I will say is that short of that last little bit of bogging down right here, going through the deeper wood, it's not bad. It's not horrible. It's not a terrible investment. I think you'd probably get the same amount of bogging down, maybe with a Fordham. Maybe not as much bogging down, but I think you'd get probably the same jump and hop. I think it's the speed of the tool that's making it not stay smooth and straight. Could be wrong. Let's check it out on a piece of cottonwood bark. I think I got a small piece. Small piece of cottonwood bark. See what it does there. if it jumps and flops and pops and goes everywhere on cottonwood bark, well, that's definitely just going to be too damn slow. Because anybody of us that has carved cottonwood bark, we tend to know that cottonwood bark is shaly and soft. Not going to be able to carve anything cool in that. That's why I cut that piece off, apparently. But let's just diddle. Start by shaving it up a bit. Alright, well, how much nut fun was that? There's a little bit of hopping and popping there. But, I don't know. Take your toy. handpiece is getting a little bit warm, not too bad. Like, I'm already a terrible artist, so this thing popping and popping all over the place ain't making it any better. Always funny and chubby, huh? So I started to try to do like a little gnome face, and that did not go any kind of fucking well. Um, it's not a good piece of art, anyways. But it was still hopping and jumping a little bit, which was kind of surprising. Um, in cottonwood bark, I expected it a bit in the harder woods, but in cottonwood bark, I didn't expect it to hop, pop, and jump like that. But yeah, here it was, hopping and popping and jumping. All right, so get this out. Put this bird back. I guess from here, let's talk final analysis. The tool, little chuck. Don't lose that damn thing. It's really small. It's going to be hard to find if you lose it. Motor power. Okay. Not amazing. Good for the $30. Say that. Good for the $30. Not awesome. Not amazing. Not wonderful. Definitely would get you by. Motor power. It did not heat up too much, too fast, for too long. Big bonus on that. After I beat the handpiece back together, that was good. The handpiece did not come back out, or the chuck did not come back out of the handpiece. So that's another good bonus. That was okay that happened. I am dusty. So let's see. Overall, I gotta rate it. Go back through everything that I already did. The aluminum on the handpiece. This guy right here. Not that there's ever going to be any real reason that you would, but this is flimsy. This is cheap and flimsy, and I got some witness marks on the inside, probably from when the piece popped off. This piece here popped off, whole thing popped off. If I wanted to, I could probably crush this in my hand, oval it out, whatever. Looks like maybe some heat built up in here and burnt that a little bit. I don't know, maybe you can kind of see there. Looks like maybe some heat built up and burnt it a little bit. A little spot right there. So flimsy, but not really a big deal. Not going to take that off very often. This piece popping off, somebody who doesn't know how to fix something, they might just stop and take the damn thing back at that point and just be done with it. I can't say I would blame them. So that was the big turn off for me, was that popping out. I was able to tap it back in, not a big deal, move forward. Heating up, whatever does heat up, it cools off really quick. Good bonus. Power was a good bonus, short of the bogging down when it was making a deep cut on this piece of cedar, and that was running through the grain. It wasn't going against edge grain or face grain. It was end grain or edge grain. It was going through face grain, so it should have not bogged down so easily, especially in cedar. In the harder woods, especially, the popping and the jumping and the hopping and the skipping, that make it near impossible to control it enough to do anything. Definitely don't like that. Could it be the wood? Could it be the burrs? I mean, I don't know. Cuts all burrs are pretty rough. Let's try one of these metalworking burrs. Maybe that'll work a little better. We'll take this flame burr, metalworking flame burr. We'll give that a shot real quick. See if that cuts through it better. I don't know if it will or won't. But if I'm going to do a true review, then I guess I gotta look at these burrs in their entirety. Look at the tool in its entirety, right? I don't like how much of that is hanging out. That should not be hanging out that much, but that's as far as it'll go in. That's as deep a throat as she gets. So I got half to 3/4 of an inch easily hanging out here. I don't really like that idea. I'm gonna try it on the harder wood, see if it cuts nice, see if it smooths anything out, or see if it pops and jumps around again. Let's see. metalworking burr goes a little bit easier to control, but I don't trust how far out it is. And it did start burning a little bit, but I was able to rough in the eyeball and the nose a little bit better. A little more detailed. Thank you, Jordy. I appreciate that. Just roughing it in, not detailing it. So it did do that better. And these are longer burrs. I'm going to switch to a shorter metalworking burr because the metalworking burr did seem to get in there better. So, beginner wood spirit carvers carve a few wood spirits with this unit, sell them and it pays for itself. Very true. Very, very, very true. You can knock out a handful of carvings with this. May not be too bad. These are my finer burrs. I'm going to use one of these little guys here. This is like a little baby, teeny tiny, like ball point, round point, whatever you want to call it, metalworking burr. Trying to get it to focus better. Come on, focus. Maybe it was focused better on it. Take my hand out of the equation. Not really working so well. All right. Well, in any case, just trust me. It's kind of like a flame burr, but the head of it is only a quarter of an inch long. Try and detail with that, and I know this is going to sit in there a little deeper, so that's why I wanted to switch to these because they're a little more shallow. I don't know who Booby Dude is, but take your word for it. Let's see how this goes with the slightly different burr in here. It's not so long. Try and detail the other eye. Shape the nose out a little bit more. I kind of want to use a different burr for that. I know I'm going to do some stuff, a little longer one. Use this guy instead. Same type of burr, less point, a little longer on the cutting surface. See how that goes. Try and make this eye in here a little better. That's not cutting as well on this wood. might work okay for the smaller details, but not for roughing. Yeah, not as good for roughing it out. Got hot really fast. That could have a lot to do with the wood. Not very good at all. Did not like that bit. It did still jump kind of a fair amount, unfair amount, whatever you want to call it. A little bit of a wider flute. I don't want to use those. That's just a bunch of diamond drills. So it did do some work, but I had to fight it way too hard. Which means I'd still have to stick with the longer burrs that I have, longer metalworking burrs. And somewhere in here, I have some other ones that are metalworking burrs. Here they are. I knew I had them somewhere. These are a little more aggressive. Give these a shot. Yeah, go ahead, shoot. I don't know that I'll be able to answer it, but I definitely know that I'll be honest with you. If I can't answer it, I'll tell you. And welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping in and checking stuff out. Appreciate that. Yeah, you're definitely welcome to ask questions. I do a little bit of motorcycle stuff, so like I said, I'll help as much as I can. I'm not saying it's going to be a lot or it's going to be enough, but I'll answer what I can. And like I said, I'll be honest about it. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. All right, 2006 Gixxer. The same thing happened to you, happened to me while riding. Changed the spark plugs, the battery, and I haven't changed the stator, but the bike voltage seems to be good. The same thing happened to you that happened to me. I did not change my spark plugs. It ended up being my stator and my rectifier. On that year Gixxer, your your rectifier is in a really crappy spot, right? Try to remember, my bike is over there, but we'll say that this is your radiator, right? The radiator kind of sits like that. The engine is back here. Today I took it for a ride. It seemed like it wanted to die on me again and didn't want to start. That's probably because it wasn't charging your battery up. It'll drain your battery down, because it did that to me too. It'll drain your battery down, and then once your battery's done, it dies on you like it did in my video. So if this is the motor of your bike right here, your rectifier, find something small enough. We'll call it this little piece of sandpaper. Actually sits kind of right up against your radiator, right? So it's supposed to catch airflow there. but it's literally like right up against your radiator, so it's getting hot all the time. So the rectifiers are common to go bad on that bike. There's a couple things you can do. One, you can buy an aftermarket kit that will roll your rectifier around to the side and sit on the left leg of your bike, like where your left leg would be, it would sit there on the left leg. Or you do what I did and get fancy and get complicated. I actually moved my rectifier inside of my air box. It takes a lot longer. It's a little bit more tricky. It requires more tools, more running. The benefit is on the air intake, air filter box, whatever you want to call it, you're getting a constant flow of cool air over it. So although it showed that the battery voltage is good and electrical system is good, it could still be the rectifier or stator. Yeah, absolutely right. You can get intermittent failures, right? It could function. It could just be on the starter going bad. It could be already bad. It could be intermittently bad. Mine ended up being the stator. Yep, it is right there. That is the stock position. In my opinion, that was a stupid, horrible spot to put it. You put an electrical component right next to something that gets really, really hot. Electrical components don't generally like that. So it was, in my opinion, a design flaw, and it was bound to fail. Since I moved mine and since I replaced my stator and my rectifier, I think I rode, I don't know, maybe 7,000 or 8,000 miles without issue. So I would recommend that you look into replacing your stator and your rec. I would also recommend Rick's Motorsports. That's who I bought mine from. They are more pricey, but their customer service is really good, and their parts are quality, like legit good quality parts. They're not junk. Like I said, I put mine on a few years ago when I did that video of the bike breaking down. Same year I replaced the stator and the rectifier, and I haven't had an issue since. I don't ride my bike as often as I'd like to, but I have not had any issues. My battery stays charged. Everything is good. Also, a good tip for you, if you're going to use a battery maintainer, use the battery tender. Don't use a trickle charger. I found that was actually too much on the battery, and it was killing it. And I ate through a lot of batteries that way. Use the battery tender. Thank you very much. Your help was amazing because I really don't know what was going on and giving me a headache. Yeah, I didn't know either, man. And truth be told, I'm not a mechanic by trade. I'm definitely not a motorcycle mechanic by trade. I did spend a lot of time in tearing stuff apart and doing my own work on cars and vehicles, and I ended up being skilled trades in one of the big three. And my job was to repair stuff, right? So I'm very familiar with troubleshooting and how to repair stuff. So it took me quite a bit of YouTube search and leaning on some fellow riders that knew a little bit more, and they led me in the right directions to fix what I needed to fix properly. And as much as I didn't want it to be the stator and the rectifier on my bike, it clearly was. It was a pain in the butt to fix, but I did do it myself. It sucks. It's a few hour long job, but once it's done, it's done. You got some knowledge, and you can move forward from there. But hopefully, you get your bike back up and going and running top notch soon, because it sucks to have a bike sitting in your garage. Yep, and expect to spend, I can remember correctly, I want to say it was 150 to 200 bucks for the stator and rectifier from Rick's, and that's here in the States. I don't know if you're in the States or not, but I want to say it was 150, 200 bucks for the stator and rectifier, and definitely replace them both. Don't replace one or the other. All the research I did online said that if you replace one, the other is not far behind, and you're already deep into it. You might as well just get them both knocked out at the same time. Yep, I get that feeling. When I really start feeling the urge, man, I'll ride my bike to work, and that's a 48-mile one-way ride, and it's mostly highway, which is great. But yeah, if I'm feeling the itch, man, I'm riding my bike to work, and that's where I get most of my riding time in. Definitely where I get most of my riding time in. Like I said, it kind of sucks, but I do ride as often as I can for leisurely purposes. But busy life, man. You gotta ride when you can. Put this mask back on and test this stupid thing out here. Which there is Joel. It's pretty gold burnt. That just burning the shit out of it. Yeah, I still got that same jixer, the same exact one that was in the video that I fixed. Um, it hasn't treated me bad since I did the stator and the rectifier. I've done brakes on it. That's the extent of what I've done. That's the big thing that I've done with brakes. Above and beyond brakes, it's been good. And the stator, obviously, but it's actually done really well. I can't complain. Oh, that's not a very good burr either. Oh, okay. Oh, all the way from Trinidad. Yeah, the weird thing is, man, you think about it, man. In '06, it's almost 20 years old. It's 5 years old. It's 5 years away from being an antique, but they still look really good with all the plastic and stuff. They don't rust, so um, it's great because they hold their look and they just look good for a long time. Um, can't complain about that. So those more aggressive birds didn't do a damn bit of good on this. Um, try my less aggressive birds again. But yeah, like I said, I love my Gixxer. I I have zero reason to not love it or trade it in or anything like that. It's been good after I got that charging issue fixed. The sassafras wood is not plain friendly. Jesus, you blew out your engine on the highway? That was a not good fun ride. Yeah, I've not had to deal with anything like that. Wood is just hard to know. Sassafras, super hard. Shelf that for another day. Come back with something different. Yeah, I would not be a happy camper if I destroyed my motor. All right, I'm gonna call that it. At least on this project for tonight. That's it. All this out of the way. Clean the damn cell phone too. Then lower in myself. So let's see. 2013 Gixxer. Gotcha. Well, your stock 2006 Gixxer, the rectifier was probably in the same spot as what I explained. Unless whoever had the bike before you did the aftermarket bracket and rotated it out 90 degrees. In that scenario, that's why yours wouldn't have been in the same spot. But yeah, apparently, if they were still doing it in 2013, they didn't learn from their mistake, that's for certain. Or they didn't care enough to make a change. They were just like, yeah, screw it, whatever. People are still buying the bikes. Which probably what happened. They probably said, all right, cool, people are still buying the bikes. Don't need to change or fix anything. That sounds very corporate. Sounds like something they would do, at least in my opinion. Just sweeping up some of this dust here. I had my shop somewhat clean. Not a ton, but somewhat. So I gotta sweep up this dust real quick. Then I'll sit back down and give my final thoughts on this tool. Well, I got access, so I'm just going to go ahead and unplug it. Pop it all out here. All right. Oh, let's see here. Awesome. Yeah, let me know. I'd be interested to find out. Like I said, I didn't have any more problems after the stator and the wreck. I can say, and this is going strictly off memory, it's been a few years, but if you have a voltage meter, do you have a voltage meter? Even a cheap one. Yeah, definitely keep me updated. I'd like that. Um, I'm going to let you know about a video, especially if you have a voltage meter, right here on YouTube, and it's actually through Rick's Motorsports. How you can tell before you do your stator, how you can test to make sure that your stator is in good condition or bad condition with your voltage meter. Is the bike showing good voltage through a voltage meter, or is it showing good voltage just other ways? Because you should have static, which is just when the bike is idle. You should have voltage at a certain level. And then when you take the RPMs up to around 5,000, that number should increase drastically. That's why I'm asking if you have a voltage meter. A little dusty. If you have a voltage meter, it makes a difference. Okay, cool. So when you put your voltage meter on your leads, on your battery terminal leads, stagnant, you should be showing, I want to say it's 12 to 14 and a half volts. I think that's pretty close to the number, 12 to 14 and a half, just at an idle. When you take the bike up to 5,000 RPMs, it should read 17 to 19 volts. So you should gain about 5 volts in that little bit of taking the RPMs off. What that tells you is that your battery is charging and that your rectifier is working correctly, as long as it's not an intermittent failure. If you go to Rick's Motorsports YouTube page, and I think you can search, checking your stator. Maybe this. Yep, that's the video. So it's how to test a motorcycle stator. Yeah, it's a really good video. They go through it really well, and they're the makers of the stator that I said, the Rick's Motorsports. Um, Great video, great great walkthrough all the way. Very detailed. Should be able to help you out. And then you'll know if you pull your stator off and it looks like the one in this picture or this video, it looks like I didn't want to do that. Keeps starting on me and I don't want it to start. It looks like the one on this video right here. That's your stator all burned up. You won't know that until you pull it out. Yep. So the electrical current melts it and burns it up, gets everything all kinds of trashed. Yeah, if the same thing that happened to me happened to you, I would put my money towards the. What's up, Jordy? I would put my money towards the stator and rectifier. That would definitely be where I would start putting my money at. If everything that happened in my video happened to you, I'd put $100 down that it was a stator, no problem. Yeah, you may be reading good voltage after a charge. If you're reading it after you charged your battery, that could be it too. Sweet. I'm about to get my final tool review on this, Jordy. Just finishing up this conversation with the young gentleman here about his motorcycle. But yeah, that's where I go. I put my money up on the stator and rectifier. Check out that video, like I said. Test it before you buy it. If everything looks like you should be buying it, that's where I would go. I'd buy it. I'd buy it, replace it, and just be done with it. Oh yeah, then you definitely lost all the power. I would say I'm like 95% certain it's stator or rectifier if all that happened. All right, cool, man. Thanks for popping in, hanging out, commenting, checking out the other videos. I appreciate it. You got any more questions? Let me know, and keep me updated. Let me know if that was the stator or the rectifier for you, because that's what I think it is. Just personal opinion. Like I said, I'm not a motorcycle mechanic or a mechanic at all, but spent my life repairing stuff, so some troubleshooting knowledge, background. All right, back to this final tool review. Don't lose your chuck. Flimsy piece of aluminum. Check. Should never have to really take it off unless you need to. Maybe to clean up around the collet. Might take it off for that. Otherwise, I'm not going to take it off. Maybe a good idea to hold the handpiece and smack it with your mallet. Get it, receive it on there better. Maybe it was a fluke with mine. Who knows? Overall power. Not going to complain, actually. I think the overall power of the motor was pretty good. Handpiece didn't heat up too much. Was able to work with it regularly, not have too many issues. Not super comfortable. The handpiece is not super comfortable to hold like a pencil and do much. It's not going to be good for detailing, in my opinion. Everything jumps around way too much. Even when I was using different burrs. Yeah, no problem, Rapid Fire. Have a good night, sir. Even when I was holding the different burrs, running it different ways, going through the cottonwood bark, it jumped and popped around. Going through the cedar, it bogged down, which it shouldn't have. Sassafras, maybe it's just the wood. I mean, it's hard to even dent the wood with a piece of metal. So maybe that wood's just really hard. I was going to try and test this with a piece of maple, and I think that would have been even harder. So it's probably good I didn't test it with maple. Overall, they're going to stop selling them. If you can go to Harbor Freight and you can get one for $30 right now, cool. For $45, okay, still kind of cool. Keep in mind, you got a 50-50 shot with Harbor Freight. Sometimes you're going to get a good tool, sometimes you're not. I'm interested to see when the one that I got for Jordy, when that gets there and he runs his hands through it and does his thing, I'm interested to see if it stays or it blows. And he carves a lot more than I do. So I think his opinion is going to weigh in a lot heavier on that than mine is. If I had to buy it again, if I'm just starting out, I just wanted a stronger carver. It's less expensive than a Dremel 4000 or 4300. However, power-wise and speed-wise, I think the Dremel 4000 and 4300, I think they stack up just as well. You get a more comfortable handpiece, less chatter. If you're working on a budget, not a bad budget buy. Like I said, for a budget piece, probably really, really good. I would buy it again for 30. I'd probably buy it again for 45. I will continue to use it. There is a chance that I will get the Fordham handpiece just to have a better, stronger handpiece and one that can run my 1/4-inch burrs. My concern is that those 1/4-inch burrs are going to jump around a lot more. We'll see. That's all I can say. We'll see. Worth it or not? I will reluctantly eat a little bit of crow and say that it's probably worth it. Not a lot of crow, but a little crow. Jury's still out. I barely used it for, I don't know, what has it been, maybe 2 hours, and I've been talking and taking breaks in between, so we'll say I ran it for an hour and a half. I don't know how long the video's actually been going, but yeah, I would say that I would buy it again. I would go that far as to say I would buy it again. And reluctantly, I would say that it is actually worth it. It is worth $30 as long as it doesn't die on you the first time. If it's going to die, try to get it to die within the 90 days and get it back. However, being that they're going to stop making them, you're taking a risk. I don't know if they're going to replace it with anything comparable. So you're going to be taking a risk. I think all they'll give you is store credit maybe if you're lucky. So yeah, I would buy it again. I think the tool's worth it. Eating a little bit of crow, and we'll see what happens in the next few times I use it, see if I blow it up or not. I may have to recant my worth it statement. We'll see. Anybody's got any comments, let me know. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate that. It means a lot coming from you. I'm not just saying that. Definitely means a lot coming from you. You, as I said, you've got way more clout and experience with the carvings than I do. So that definitely means something coming from you. I gotta find a safe freaking spot for this damn thing. That ain't gonna be it. Guess I'm gonna put it up here. Yep. Put this in a safe spot too. The model 40432. Put that in a safe spot. All right. Well, nobody else got anything. I appreciate you all tuning in. Appreciate all the commentary, all the good chat, all the good fun. Glad you guys enjoyed the video. It was quite a bit longer than what I was expecting and thinking it would be, but you know, that's how I roll. I just go ahead and overshoot things. So, all right. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it, and we'll be seeing you later.